I have no idea who drew the thumbnail. Somebody posted that at me at Twitter, and I have no idea where it originally comes from. If you are the original artist of it, please let me know so I can credit you, because like, holy crap, that is a good drawing. And I guess it's a good segue to get into what the what the first topic of the stream is going to be, and that is our good friend Lindsay Ellis. This is the image that I'm using as a thumbnail. That's Lindsay Ellis, and she is being burned at the stake, being sacrificed to the corn, while a somehow both obese and gaunt-looking individual in the moon is watching down in approval of this. I guess probably not approval, because MovieBob actually debased himself, which was also really embarrassing. So about I want to say 9 months ago. Yeah, 9 months ago, because this was in late March. Lindsay Ellis had deactivated her Twitter and made a big stink about leaving social media and being quote-unquote canceled. I don't really agree with this terminology, by the way. I think to be canceled, people have to be going after your financial situation. They have to be going after your employment or the means in which that you make money or something like that. You really can't be canceled for, you know, people saying mean things to you on Twitter. I don't think that's what being canceled is. I think that's just, you know, a Twitter mob. And she did it for arguably extremely benign rationale. The TLDR of it was there was like a Disney animated feature called Raya the Last Dragon that was being produced by, like, I think like one of the selling points is that it was made by like a mostly Asian cast. This is like during the whole like stop Asian hate hype and everything back in March. So, you know, it had that tism. And she basically said that it followed a lot of the sort of things that she had seen in Avatar: The Last Airbender, which was an American TV show that heavily draws upon both Asian mythology as well as like anime art style. It's pretty definitively like what they were going for. But also made by white people. So a lot of terminally online and deranged lunatics got really mad at Lindsay. The only problem with all of this is that at the end of the day, Lindsay kind of deserves it. You know what I mean? Lindsay kind of earned her spot, you know? Lindsay is a person who directs these same insane people to go out and bitch on social media or do just absolutely insane things, and never really like thinking about it too much, you know what I mean? Like, Lindsay just constantly directs her audience to be as deranged as the people who attack Lindsay. And the funny thing is that we fast forward to now, and she has created a Patreon statement that I will not be reading on Patreon because it's paywalled. Luckily, a good user on Kiwi Farms has posted the full thing because I'm not giving her money to do absolutely nothing. That's stupid. But she made a whole screed, and we're going to read like a lot of it. There's some really funny parts in it, and I'm going to get into like why she really didn't learn anything, and she kind of deserved what happened to her again. I don't think that people should be harassed for like their hot takes on Twitter or on YouTube or anything like that. I don't think people should be harassed in general. But if you direct the harassment mob and then it happens to you, well, then, you know, you're gonna get wrecked. You're gonna get wrecked. Okay, so apparently Terra Terror 5 drew this image. I'm gonna post their link in Twitter and you can go and follow them. And I will also post the link to your Twitter and the thing. And let me know if you want me to give you any money for using your thumbnail. Anyway, let's get into her statement, of which again I will not be giving her a single cent to actually read. This was going to be a YouTube video, but I just don't have it in me to invite that kind of scrutiny. And to the last in the sick, sad line of YouTubers who get all weepy on camera and cry about how they just can't do this anymore. I just can't take this no more, man. It's like, I feel worse. I feel more bad for Wings of Redemption than I do for Lindsay Ellis, honestly. I had planned to move video content to Nebula, which is a paid subscription service that a lot of YouTubers have been kind of shilling as they release stuff off-site onto there. It ranges from like actual academic videos, like Arthur C. Clarke or whatever his name is, that guy who does like the guy who does like speculative future machinery and physics and stuff like that, with like he's got kind of like an Elmer Fudd voice to him. He knows that he has sort of that, so it's fine. You can make light of it. To like insane people, but Lindsay's one of them. So there you go. But I now realize that in doing that is just keeping wounds wide open. My life ended 9 months ago. What has been taking up bandwidth ever since has been a ghost. It's almost funny how people will insist I have lost nothing, because subscriber count is the only metric for success and cancel culture doesn't exist. Lindsay still has her job. She's not a public pariah at functions where she used to be welcome. By no metric were you canceled. You are still fawned upon by the mediocre people that prop up your existence, fam. Don't worry. One YouTube channel chugging along on algorithmic inertia is not success. It's just an engine driving on fumes. Many will say this is being melodramatic, that my life isn't over, that there was absolutely nothing from stopping me from brushing myself off, building back up goodwill, and shutting up and playing the game. You know what? There really isn't. Like, you could just do your videos. You don't have to even read your comment section. You can just like pay Jannies, because these people feel like they need to like sweep it up in their comment section or whatever. Like, you don't have to do any of this, but you did it. You did it. And then I tried that. In a way, I suppose it's good that I did, because I needed to learn the hard way that I was never going to learn. There is no uneffing this. You can't find the energy if there is nothing left to convert it. You can't be a better person if you are nothing but a hollow shell of one. 2021 has been the worst year of my life. I am traumatized by it.
Oh, hey there, kids. It's time for the Shameless Shekel Shakedown.
Yo, happy holidays, Slam. Did you see Hassan get booty blasted by Too Mad on Twitter? I have no idea who Too Mad is. I'm going to have to look that up, and we'll cover it tomorrow, probably. To this day, I still have people scolding me by the way how I handled it, and how I should have handled it differently. That I should have controlled my stands, as if I had the capability to know what any of these people are even saying to strangers on Twitter while I was crapping blood for weeks on end. Oh, okay, fam. You might want to go get that checked out, or it might just be hemorrhoids. It was hemorrhoids for me. The worst.
Oh, hey there, kids. It's time for the Shameless Shekel Shakedown.
Mindfreak Sniper for $2 says, what are your thoughts on Mahler and the EFAP crew? I like everybody who's on EFAP for the most part. I can't really think of anybody who I like dislike off the top of my head on EFAP. So I like everyone on EFAP. I haven't watched it as much lately, but they're all good. They're all good lads. specifically my buddies Chase and Aiden. They're the bestest of lads. They're the bestest of lads. But anyway. The whole worst thing about this whole year was that I can't even admit this trauma because of all the rhetorical devices people have already come up with to dismiss it. I don't know how you... It's funny that she's like doing this. She's like, I can't talk about my trauma while I'm talking about my trauma. Like that's such a dumb statement to make. Like, it's self-defeating. That centering my own pain is evidence of me not listening. Does it occur to these people that you can listen and disagree with other people's conclusions? I don't know, Lindsay. Does it occur to people at all, Lindsay? Does it occur to people at all? Really, lady? Really? Really? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Even JXE, to my knowledge, JXE doesn't like advocate for people he doesn't like on the internet to get removed. So, you know, that's really my litmus test for liking these people is like, if you don't demand that people cater to your every wish, then you're cool. But what are you gonna do? That I'm weaponizing my fragile white womanhood or whatever to point out that having thousands upon thousands of people who have never met you hate you and say whatever will get them the most updates about this is. That's a real Reddit mentality right there. This is why Reddit sucks, by the way.
Oh, hey there, kids. It's time for the Shameless Shekel Shakedown.
Being canceled serves Lindsay Ellis right for killing spoon. Okay, I've got a joke later. Okay? Wait, Joey. I've got a joke for that later. Or whatever to point out that having thousands upon thousands of people who have never met you hate you and say whatever will get them the most updates is, in fact, traumatizing. That people I used to know would fragrantly lie about me on twitter.com to the tunes of thousands of tweets and tens of thousands of likes, and I had just had to sit there and take it. My favorite are the people who dismiss any potential harm that might have incurred as justified because I am a wealthy white woman. I'm not wealthy, which is weird because she makes easily 10K a month on Twitter. Like, she is easily making or on Patreon. She is easily making like 100K a year. That is doctor wealthy. Like, that is what doctors make. She is wealthy. She is extremely wealthy. At least she's upper middle class. While these same people's hearts positively bleed for Britney Spears. Yes, I am stuck in I am being mobbed on Twitter. That is completely the same as me being an adult woman with children and not being able to make legal decisions for myself because my father has a conservatorship a conservator status over me. Yeah, you're just like Britney Spears. Yeah. These people don't see how similar these talking points are to the same boomer bootstrap parroting style that I thought most of us agreed was abusive. That you need to toughen up, accept your punishment, accept that even if the reaction was outsized that you did something wrong, you don't have to admit that you did anything wrong. You don't have to admit that. You don't have to admit that at all. You just have to like accept that people will just think that you did something wrong and ignore them. That's literally all you have to do. That is literally the only thing you have to do in this situation. Jeez. These same people who always crow about believing victims, telling victims of public dog piles that they do not deserve them to claim their trauma, let alone process it because they deserved it, that there's no such thing as cancel culture. Okay, the thing is, hold on. Where is her video? So
last week she
released this video and this part right here, I think, really. Wait, hold on. 1 second. There's a specific point that I wanna harp on because it's indicative of like where her mindset is and why she does deserve it, you know, because she downplayed it. She said it didn't exist. She's literally the people that she's complaining about. Let's see. Yeah, this one right here. This part right here.
So what do we call it? What is the name for this unspoken, unacknowledged culture of fear where we all know that one misstep can ruin our lives? This social media culture where we participate in the public shaming one day and become chained to the pillory the next. We can't even talk about it because the beast does not have a name. If we admit that this is a problem, then the right will just take it and run with it and use it to increase their own power, same as they did with cancel, same as they did with woke, same as they did with fake news. If it has
So really, like, you only have yourself to blame. You made your bed. Now you gotta lie in it. You gotta you know, you gotta just make peace with the fact that, you know, you laid with dogs and now you got a bunch of bloodsuckers around you and you're itchy and you don't know why. You know why? Because you're too much of a coward to do it. Rip, rip, rip. There is no incentive/reward structure in places like Twitter to call people out. There are no oop, doots, faves, follows, retweets for hotting a take on whomever is trending. I reread the 2015 essay, A Hot Allostatic Load, and this is like, there's a lot of crazy stuff in this one too. I'm not going to get into like the actual thing, although the person who is writing this was experiencing homelessness, which isn't something that Lindsay has dealt with, so I don't know why she's like taking it like, yes, this is just like me. OMG, it's just literally like, she's literally me. You know, it's ridiculous. For the first time in years last night, and I could not stop crying. Even reading some of these passages now, I can't stop crying. This is written from the perspective of a trans femme and discusses some rhetorical devices used to demonize trans women specifically, which obviously does not apply to me, but some of it is spot on. She has to caveat it with this, because she understands even the people who are like pay pigs to her will like snap on her if she breaks conditioning, you know? Don't break the conditioning. Don't go off script. Don't do that. One of the most common tools of exclusion is through mobbing, which is rarely talked about because unlike it is not easy to pin on a single person or scapegoat. Mobbing is an emotional abuse tactic practiced by a group of people, usually peers, over a period of time through methods such as gaslighting, rumor mongering, and ostracism. It is most documented in workplace or academic environments. Key points of capitalist tension. Oh gosh. But it is thoroughly institutionalized into feminist, queer, and radical spaces as well. Here's why it's horrible. There's some really good gems in this little segment here. It has an unusually strong power to damage the victim's relationship to society, which can't be written off as an outlier, as some singular monster. It reveals a fundamental truth about people that makes it difficult to ever trust ever again, because people become like aliens, like pack animals that turn on you as soon as some mysterious pheromone shift marks you for death. Yeah, and you don't really notice it until it happens to you, because you're kind of inundated from the responsibility or the empathy, because empathy for your enemies is verboten. You're not allowed for that. It is bad. No, they engaged in wrong think. They engaged in wrong think. The insidious nature of emotional abuse. How do you fight ostracism rumors? They leave no bruises. They just starve you. Again, Lindsay, you're not starving. You're making money on Patreon. Mobbing typically occurs in places where the victim is trapped by some need or obligation, work, school, circle of friends. This could prolong exposure to damaging extremes. For these reasons, PTSD is an almost inevitable outcome of any protracted mobbing case. Again, this is going to become very important later on because there's a little thing that Lindsay really just doesn't. Lindsay might be a sociopath. Lindsay Ellis might be a sociopath, and I don't mean that in the way that, like, you know, you don't like somebody on the internet, so you say that there's something mentally wrong with them and you call them a sociopath. No, I think that Lindsay Ellis has a fundamental inability to empathize with others. I really think so. The Isabel Fall case is an almost textbook example of how online mobbing harms people and how the people who participate in these mobs never engage in any self-reflection. When some people read Fall's helicopter story and question the trans bona fides of the author in early 2020, Twitter did what Twitter does and ruined Fall's life, death by a million cuts. This is funny because, like, that person didn't die. They didn't off themselves. This person's still alive, but whatever. No one single person even beginning to question whether they did anything wrong by jumping into the worst possible faith interpretation of both the text and the author. Gosh, I can't imagine who would ever do something like that, Lindsay. I can't imagine anybody ever doing that, Lindsay Ellis. Ever. After a profile written, lessons learned, this part's not super important. We get into another quote from the essay. This part's really funny, though. Feminist/queer spaces are more willing to criticize people than abusive systems because they want to reserve the right to use those systems for their own purposes. That's a shockingly frank and honest take right there. At least attacking people can be politically viable, especially in a token system where you benefit directly by their absence, where your status as a good feminist is dependent on constantly rooting out evil. Like, you know, you make it like, you know, there's wrongthink, and that wrongthink is unforgivable, and you are justified in employing any means possible in which to ameliorate that wrongthink. You're 100% justified in whatever means that you do. Like, it doesn't really matter. There are no bad tactics. There's just bad targets, you know, and they really do think like this. Lindsay definitely thinks like this. We'll get into that. We're going to get into that. We're almost done. When the bounty system calls for the ears of evil people, well, most people have an ear. Something that's also inevitable. I was going to quit YouTube. I knew I couldn't do it forever, that I was running out of steam. I was sick of the increasing dehumanization inherent, and I just didn't have anything to say about movies anymore. The plan was always to end with Love Never Dies, since it seemed like the best place to end. Some semblance of energy rather than keeping on until I wither away into nothing. What happened to me in March and April hastened it, but it was always inevitable. My initial plan, she just kind of repeats this because she didn't proofread this because she's bad at writing. Because she repeats the exact same thing. But now I realize it's only entrenching myself in the more intimate form of harm rather than the broad buckshot kind that YouTube invites. I won't go into detail, not now anyway, but I can't do video content for them either. I can't make content, period. I just can't do this anymore. There's no healing as long as there's an attachment to the thing that makes you suffer. In that case, being in the public eye at all. She'll be back. She's addicted to the, like, I also believe that Lindsay Ellis is a narcissist. She will be back. Like, it is inevitable. It is absolutely inevitable that Lindsay Ellis will return to YouTube or to Twitter or to anything that gets her attention, because, like, it's not about the money. It's about getting views on yourself. It's about, you know, people propping up your mediocre existence.
Thanks for the shekel.
But what happens when karma turns right around to bite you? And everything you stand for turns on you to spite you? What happens when you become the main source of her pain? I also went to an AMC movie theater, and they charge $5 for a bottle of water.
Jeez, yeah, don't get water at AMC. Holy crap. What I wanted to say is what I wanted to do is quietly disappear, but this is not. Since this is a platform where people are paying me to make content, I feel like I have to make a statement. If it were just me by myself, I would just sign off and say goodbye, and that would be it. But I have a team who depends on my company for health insurance, including dependents. I supply full benefits for 8 people. Gee, she employs 8 people. And here in the US, employer-based health insurance is often the only feasible option. Well, I mean, you could also just pay them. You could just pay them, you know? Saying to everyone, sorry about your children, but they can't have insurance anymore because Twitter makes me sad. Just doesn't seem like a fair deal. None of them, incidentally, know I'm posting this. They should probably update their resumes. They should probably update their resumes. This is also kind of insidious because this is being done on Patreon. And it's like, make sure you guys keep that Patreon up to date because it's not just me who's going to starve. It's going to be little kids and their families. Tee-hee. Oh. So the only thing I can do to keep this page active with the loose premise that someday I'll figure out something in the future to make up for this while asking you to please stop messaging me, apologizing for not being able to subscribe anymore. You don't owe me anything. This Patreon is like my own life and career, just running on fumes. We're gonna go into why that's not true too in a little bit. But now all I know is that being in the public eye is a losing game. I regret all of it. I regret every time I stood up for anyone. It always backfires. I regret every time I push back against something unjust. It was just used to hurt me. I regret every time I ever stood up for myself. I never did it correctly. I regret every time I showed my vulnerability. Just more ammunition to be used against me later. I regret every time I ever tried to play the game with peers and colleagues. They will drop you the second you aren't popular on Twitter anymore. It's all hollow and brittle. Yeah, because you're surrounded by like completely shallow sycophants. You don't have actual friends. You need to recognize that, or else you're gonna be miserable for the rest of your life. It's all hollow and brittle, and if there's one thing I've learned this year, it's that how eminently expendable I am. The good, progressive, cis, straight, wealthy white men keep on Oh man, you can feel the freaking venom in this. The good, progressive, cis, straight, wealthy white men
kids.
just keep on trucking on, keep on top because deep down they know that the systems they profess to stand against ultimately exist to benefit them. Oh my gosh. And to all the people telling me I need to grow a thicker skin or remove myself from the conversation altogether, you are right. I don't have it in me to do the former, so I shall do the latter. Hope the new year is better than this. Let me take a look at her. Let me take a look at her Patreon. Let me see Lindsay Ellis. Is she one of those people that hides her Patreon figures? A lot of people do. Yeah, she does. So she's got 1,100 Patreons with a $2 a month, like, I guess, main goal. She probably makes like 20K a month. There's also probably residuals, and I'm going to guess that she actually doesn't have full-time employees because she only made like what, like 2 videos a year. Hold on, let me check Lindsay Ellis's YouTube real quick. How often do you upload, Lindsay? A little bit more than that. A little bit more than that. Maybe like once a month. Yeah, she made about 6 videos this year, roughly rounding to about, I guess 7 hours of footage. There's no way that is a full-time staff of 8 people. That is That is, I don't buy that. I don't buy that. They are not full-time workers. They are absolutely not full-time workers. She hires maybe gig workers or something like that. I don't know if there's like, if they're also working on the PBS thing maybe, but like for just her YouTube, like, I'm not buying it. I don't believe you. You're lying. You are definitely lying. I'm sorry. Oh, yo, what's up, Jessix? I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. She mentioned she has employees. I do not buy that she has full-time employees. She might hire people to do work for her, but it's probably on commission, and it's probably not an actual, like, health insurance thing. I do not buy her. I do not believe that. So Twitter had some responses to this. And
hey there, kids.
I had some funny
for the
stuff about
shameless
this.
shekel shakedown.
But anyway, the TLDR of this is that Lindsay feels alienated by a culture that kind of surrounds, like, calling out really, I guess, like, the problematic behavior,
Flam,
right?
this is so sad. Hey Siri, play the gay dream song.
We'll play that afterwards. So yeah, Lindsay feels alienated by these people that are, you know, harping on her and ragging on her and constantly just giving her crap, because, you know, they feel the need to call out the bad behavior for internet upvotes and upcomies and all that stuff. Lindsay's a hypocrite. And I believe that hypocrites, like, really kind of are like really the lowest tier of individuals. Like, I cannot stand hypocrites. I don't like them. Lindsay, like I said, is a hypocrite because not more than like a couple of hours before she released this, a mere 6 hours before Lindsay Ellis posted her "I'm quitting because of you toxic cancelers," she scolded the creator for including someone in a video because that person made problematic comments at one point. Like, she is leading the mob. She is absolutely directing the mob towards this dude who probably doesn't even know, because he didn't make the wrong thing statement. It was like somebody that was in his video. And it's just like, you gotta, like, know all this, and like she is establishing that this is the bare minimum you need to do. When she's like, Tom, you should absolutely take this video down regardless of what you plan to do with the ad revenue. It already has almost 250K views. No one going in blind will see your statement, and leaving it up is just as much of a stamp of approval as standard onboarding her was. Like, these people deserve it. These, like, you know, I don't want a person to, like, get harassed. I don't want them to get bullied. I don't want them to, like, feel as if, like, there's no way out and they do something drastic. But, dude, you're literally doing what you're complaining about. You were drafting this video, this open letter. You did not write that in 6 hours. You like, you are just... It's... I genuinely hate these people. I really do. These people are just evil. They really are. They don't think. They are incapable of empathizing. They are incapable of, like, putting themselves into a situation. That's why when she does this thing to this dude, and then she complains about the letter, the two thoughts don't cross. Her brain doesn't make those fucking connections. She's incapable of, like, thinking about herself in another person's situation. And it's disgusting. It really is. It absolutely is. I can fully call her out on that. I don't care if she has complaints about, like, somebody's video or, like, whatever, you know, but she understands what that does. She understands what it does, and it's, you know, it's whatever. It's whatever. I'm getting heated. There's some other funny things about this too. I had fun laughing at the people who were getting mad. We had this brilliant take from this person. Bimbo Politics is a very apt username. I'm not gonna look at her other thing because it's probably porn. A lot of people's reactions to Lindsay Ellis quitting YouTube are why she quit YouTube. Y'all are insane. You'll never learn until it happens to you. Lindsay never learns until it happens to her. You didn't make the internet better by doing this. You just traumatized a human with no real gain. And I think deep down, you know that. I think deep down, you know it's excuses. You're going to do the exact same thing. Lindsay's going to do the exact same thing. You people will not learn, okay? You will not learn whatsoever. Some of you go along with it because your peers terrify you and you don't want to be next. To you, I say you will always be next. You are inevitably going to come to your turn. You are an ally. Your future victims. Lol. Yeah. So like you have the people. You have people like simping for Lindsay. And I'm gonna show you guys the most disgusting thing. Now, this person, this Bimbo Politics person, came onto my radar because I follow another person who gave some comments on Lindsay. I don't follow them because they have intelligent things to say. I follow them because they're absolutely insane themselves. MovieBob, who some of you guys might remember, MovieBob had tweeted out a picture of him and Lindsay Ellis at a convention, saying something along the lines of like, you know, I'm so glad I met such wonderful people in my YouTube sphere or whatever like that. And Lindsay just like absolutely tears him down, says that he's a creep. She's soft blocked him like 5 times. Do not call me friends. This is also how like Quentin reviews got kind of dragged too. Quentin probably also said, but Quentin like auto blocks me whenever I make a Twitter account, so it doesn't really matter. But he defends Lindsay. He absolutely does. Because he makes this statement right here. Without warding into specifics of anything, just to get on record here, where I've said at times cancel culture isn't real, context demonstrates that I referred to the term most commonly used in bad faith by people with power upset at facing accountability. Obviously, that doesn't preclude the non-powerful people can face circumstances themselves they would describe as cancellation. Bob, you're a slave. Bob, you are pathetic. Bob, you are worthless. Lindsay was kind of right to step on you because it's really all you really deserve. You're a worm. You are just absolutely a worm. You know. It's whatever. It's whatever. MovieBob is weird. Yeah, people like, you know, just saying Lindsay Ellis is a racist and stuff like that. And these are people that she would defend up until the point that she gets attacked by them. Again, it's really only that like they're being attacked themselves. And I like this, and I want to say this is, let's see. Oh, we've also got our king, our king, the king of hate, Dark Side Phil. Rest assured, I won't quit being a content creator until I'm good and ready. Nobody is going to cancel me for being betrayed by those I trust didn't envy in the past, and it won't in the future. I'm here for the long haul because it's fun and meaningful to both myself and others. In other words, I have been through the stuff and I'm better for it, made of sterner stuff than those who threw what they have away because they can't take the stress. It's very bad at times, but I get through it because of all the love and support of my family and you, the fans. So thank you. Dude, DSP has a thicker skin than Lindsay Ellis. All hail to the king! All hail DSP! Oh my gosh. That's so funny. And let's see. There's also the obligatory mentioning of Gamergate, of course. It is the year of our Lord 2021, and Gamergate must be mentioned as always. You know, because why not, right? Why not? Well, because it's insane, but you know, these people really don't think. And I guess like one of the things I really want to point out is a tweet I made because I thought this was funny. I think this is a good joke I made. I think this is a really good joke I made. So the only thing I can do from now is keep the page active with the loose promise that someday I'll figure out something in the future to make up for this, while asking you to please stop messaging me for apologizing for not being able to subscribe anymore. Wants money for nothing. To which I said, first Lindsay kills Spoonie's child, then she takes his grift. Shake my head. Because the allegation is that the abortion that Lindsay Ellis made a short film about was a abortion that was a product of her and Noah Antweiler, aka the Spoonie one, and that Lindsay had aborted his child, and that is the reason for his slow, inevitable decline. You know. And now she's going to do what Noah did, probably with wine instead of hard liquor, because she's a classy lady. But yeah, she'll probably drink herself into a stupor, be depressed, and eventually get evicted. And it'll be really funny. But we'll keep an eye out on on all that stuff, because it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I think Jim was talking about this during his New Year or his Christmas stream, and you know what? I think I'm gonna agree with Jim. You know, you got Rittenhouse not guilty, Jesse Smollett guilty, Biden screwing up nonstop, CNN imploding, now Lindsay Ellis quitting the internet. I keep telling you, the year of the CHUD is nearly upon us. I like how he looks like Senator Armstrong. He's making the mother of all omelets, and he can't fret over a couple of eggs. Somebody in my Discord made a really good sticker. There's a lot of actually really talented people in my Discord. Somebody made this. I like this doggo, but let me find the sticker. The absolute Kino sticker. Oh my gosh, bro. Oof. Oh boy. So, you know, Lindsay Ellis's sacrifice to the corn promises a bountiful harvest, and I'm looking forward to it. Lindsay ended her career like her baby prematurely. Maybe not prematurely, but yeah.
Oh, hey there, kids. It's time for the shameless shekel shakedown.
Oh, let me go ahead and read the guy's freaking 100, because I completely got sidetracked. Big shout out, by the way, to I think I talked to him in my Discord, Kalen. I think this is a new guy in the Discord. Big ups on the return, ready for more great content, and spurg out on the Twitters for $100 freaking dollars. Holy crap. Holy absolute crap, dude. For bigger donations, by the way, I highly recommend you guys go to my Streamlabs, because it takes a lot less. Though if you do feel uncomfortable with the PayPal credit card stuff, feel free to just the super chats if you want. But feel free to also just show your appreciation for the stream by liking and subscribing, all that gay shit, and sharing. We have a possibility of getting to 16K by the end of the year. Possibly, maybe. I don't know. That would be pretty cool. But if that happens, that would be pretty cool. You know, it's whatever. Okay. So that is the end of the Lindsay Ellis story.